All right, we are back, folks. All Conditions Racing Department athlete Tyler Green in studio. We're going to talk about dad stuff. Tyler, welcome, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The dad's champ. Here he is.
Here, we are all dad champs. When you're dad champ.
It's true. You're a dad champ. Yep. Dude, world champs, couple days out. How you feeling?
Feel really good. Yeah, it's just it's good to be here.
I just saw it in your eyes.
Thank
too.
you. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
You see it.
Yeah. Is this your first time on Team USA?
Yeah, and it's been a dream of mine for years and years and years. I think it's just, watching Michael Johnson break the 200 meters in 1996, 19.32. Ever since then, I wanted the U.S. jersey, and it's finally come to fruition. It's funny because I was on the University of Utah track, and I run down for one of my last workouts, and a few guys run by, and they have Ducks gear on.
Yeah,
I'm like, are the Ducks here? They're doing an altitude camp up in Park City. I'm like, the Ducks are here. And I get to share the track with the Ducks. And next week I get to be on Team USA. All of my childhood dreams are coming true.
It's a good omen. It's funny. I saw you post that photo on your Strava. Maybe let's start with this too, because I was looking at your Strava and it seemed like an interesting mix of training. You're on the track a bit, and then you're also doing a lot of steep technical stuff in the Wasatch, which is more specific to this course. Tell us about how you were thinking about the training and the mix between those two things.
Yeah. I think you can just get a little bit more really dialed into the effort when you're on the track as opposed to climbing up mountains. So, the main thing that we were doing is just 1 mile, 2 mile sort of threshold, critical velocity type of workouts on the track, and then actually running straight up to the mountains and hitting some hill repeats and stuff. I think it might be along the lines of that muscular endurance that you were talking about with Scott Johnstone. And yeah, I think, and then anything else was always on the trails. I think I'm probably 90% on the trails these days because of the proximity it is to my house.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to be.
Yeah, it's great. But you feel like it set you up to do the sort of flat stuff and the steep stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just it took a little while. After I raced Laredo, same weekend it was Western States, and that went decently. Had a few issues that I ran into, and then kind of struggled with maybe a muscle strain. We think it was. Yeah. It took a little time to come in. What I found early on in that is I was able to still go up steep stuff, and I was like, well, that's appropriate for where we're coming. And then there was a moment where it was just okay, we're finally kind of clicking here and started getting some good workouts in. And then Caleb Olson was here a few weeks before, and he texted me. He's like, hey, good news. Wasatch is going to treat you really well for this race.
Nice.
So
dude.
I'm glad that I was able to, I think the terrain suits itself well for this race.
Awesome.
And we were talking a little bit about it off air, but you recently had your second child, was it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
She's going to be 6 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So how has it been managing that newborn energy and training? I just had to do it recently too, so I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, if you speaking to my Strava, you can see a nice lump, and then there's just this V within it, which is definitely where Chloe was born.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of that was sickness as well, and we were kind of waiting to be induced and kind of sitting at home, and it ended up taking a couple days, missed a couple days. Anyway, she arrived, and I have to give all the praise to my wife, who's taken the brunt of the work. She's the one who's waking up at night and feeding, and that's allowed me to sleep, get the recovery I need. And the hard part of that is that right when I get home, she goes back to residency, and I get hit hard with the work.
That's what it's all about.
But you'll be recovering anyway from this, it'll be good.
Let's dwell on this for a little while longer. So you did Laredo. Now you're getting ready for a dream come true, racing at the World Championships. And in the middle, you welcome your second child, your daughter, Chloe. Talk about the emotional side of it too, because obviously it's exhausting. It's a huge effort for the whole family, more so for Rachel, but certainly for you too. But these intervening weeks are magical, the first few weeks all together as a family while you're in peak peak training mode. Bring us into the Green Drake household. What's it been like?
Well, Chloe is just this really magical little gal. She's very calm and peaceful. I mean, it doesn't mean she's a baby. She cries, but I think she has a really calming presence for us. And that is, I think I would say that's conducive to training and being able to do what we need to do from a training perspective. I think, the biggest hindrance, I guess, it creates is that I don't really want to drive anywhere for workouts or anything. I just want to do things like right out the door, which is great. I've got great mountains right out the door. Like I know maybe a half mile and I'm on trails, whatever climbs I need.
Awesome.
That also means that I'm running in the Salt Lake foothills. And if you know the Salt Lake foothills, they're just extremely hot throughout the summer.
Yeah.
And that makes it's the training block has felt like, I'm like, am I fit? Like I just feel horrible on a lot of these runs because it's so hot. And then the weather turns, or I was doing a few more like early morning runs so that I could be kind of there for the rest of the day. And in the cool of the day, I'm like, oh, it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of need those little remembrances or reminders that the fitness is there when you're running in the heat.
How's Rachel doing? Obviously, for our audience here, Rachel's also a professional athlete, as good as it gets, effectively. So she knows, how important this is to you. So how's she doing physically, mentally, emotionally, embracing the expanded family?
Yeah, she's doing really well. Just starting to get some bike rides in and done a couple steep hikes using poles, just kind of taking it easy. I think we'll be really careful with how she returns to running, but she's getting excited. I start to hear, like when she starts talking about races that she wants to do, I know the fire's coming back, and yeah, I'm excited for her. I think, and that's actually one of the hardest parts of the last 9 months has been that usually this is a thing that we do together, and with her in pregnancy, you don't share that as much. Like it's kind of, I'm doing that and she's, raising a baby in her belly. So, in her uterus, we use proper anatomy in the house. It's nice to have her coming back. It'll be fun to share some runs soon.
Well, Cape Town 2027, you return the favor.
Yeah, 100%.
You stay home with the kids. She goes on vacation.
That's okay. Go ahead. I can do that.
No, I was just going to say, moving toward the race, I'm curious, you've done your research, right? Checked out the course. I know you haven't been on it. How are you feeling about it? Are you excited? Are there any parts that you feel like are going to set you up really well? Any parts that you're a little more nervous about?
I think I'm a really good descender. And I had a few kind of key, downhill time trials to just blast my quads and set some really good times on some big descents in our mountains. And I think that was a good confidence booster for me. So I think that's something that I'm craving and excited about.
Yes.
And then, I think that just I think this whole year has been a transition for me from being in Portland to being in Utah and having just a different kind of mountain that I'm constantly being hit with. And yeah, it's kind of rocked me. I thought I was a pretty decent mountain runner and kind of been rocked by those mountains. But I think that there's some metamorphosis that goes along with that.
It's a slower adaptation.
That was kind of the plan. The whole approach in the last few years was I think I turned down my entry to Western States this year with that idea of I think I need to just go to the mountains. That's what's appealing to me. That's what I'm drawn towards. And this is as burly as it gets.
It seems like you've been taking full advantage though. I've seen some of those YouTube videos that you and Caleb did with the drone and stuff. You're on some technical terrain, so I feel like you're going to be pretty prepared.
Yeah. I think technicality, I do pretty well in it.
Nice.
So one of the things I was curious to ask you about, obviously you got here late compared to a bunch of people. And I think with the way the sport's progressing, more and more we're seeing people arrive really early. Obviously UTMB, it's been the case for a little while, but you are starting to see it reflected in the results. Tom and Ruth have both done multiple laps in the race itself, but also in training. People like Caleb have been here, Jim, Adam, etc. What do you do like at home to help that not be a disadvantage to you? Are you just like pouring through the maps and then like touching base with Caleb to get a boots on the ground report? What does that look like?
I think it's really important to like tell myself, keep like reinforcing the narrative that, there's two ways to look at it. We can think of this as a narrative of like, yeah, if you're on the course and you're just on it all the time, you know it super well, you know every rock. I don't think that's actually possible, but that is going to be an advantage to you. And I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell myself the narrative that I get 50 miles of like gorgeous mountains that I'm excited to like see what's around each corner.
Discover.
And that lifts you up.
Yeah.
And I think like I've been running a lot of the same trails recently. I'm really excited to run some new trails. Like I think that'll
Yes.
draw out some excitement and happiness is good for racing.
Right.
How about from a strategy standpoint? Like from as much as you're willing to share, like how do you plan to approach the race when the gun goes off?
Yeah, I mean, I have to run my own race. I don't think that I'm necessarily like someone who's a front runner. I think that's clear in a lot of the results that I've in some of my best results. So, I think I know when to turn it on and when to kind of hold back and let some of the carnage of the mountains like do its own damage.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. So before I get to my amazing epiphany that I had here,
I'm excited about it.
you mentioned Western States and you mentioned Laredo. So I'd love to just have you buckle those two things together. You declined the opportunity to go back to Western States for what I think would have been the fifth year in a row or sixth year in a row. I'm sure there was mixed emotions around that. You got to see your good buddy Caleb have the race of his life, which is, I'm sure, really satisfying and awesome. Meanwhile, you go over to Laredo and you had a good day, but, certainly not a perfect day. Tell us, any thoughts around both Western States, Laredo. Would love to hear just sort of like how that period of the season played out for you.
I think it's important that it goes back to what we were talking about with the race of like, you can perfect a race, you can become an expert in the race.
Yeah.
And I think I had a lot of good beta from experience of Western States and kind of needed to cut the umbilical cord to grow as an athlete. And going back to Laredo was an opportunity for me to do that. Mm-hmm. And I do think I just ran into I've had a few different races that are now like checkpoints to help me realize that I'm working on some nutrition things that I think I've solved. And that's going to be a big, opportunity for me in this coming race to be like, okay, we've figured some things out and we've got some good races ahead.
Awesome. Was there any regret after seeing like how things played out at Western States?
There was regret in just like all of my friends and just like the good experience.
Yeah, just like a
all
FOMO.
of those good
Yeah,
memories. Yeah. I mean, I went to Laredo the year before I ran Western States and raced it. That was my first like international race. And I have such rich memories from that. Rachel and I were like a year into dating, about to be engaged, like had just this very wonderful trip there. Yeah. And I was there alone and it was very hard to be there without her and to just kind of, just like relive a lot of like, think about all of those memories and then to not be able to create some new ones.
I love how you said that though, eventually you do have to cut the umbilical cord to grow as an athlete. And you did do so well at Western States. You have so much to be proud of there. And certainly it felt different not having Tyler Green on the start line to those of us who were following along. Okay. My epiphany, guys. Are you familiar with the Dream Team?
Yes.
So 1992 Olympics, right? Goes down in history. Maybe the greatest basketball team ever assembled. What if we look at Team USA Long Trail this weekend? We've got Tyler Green, Jim Walmsley, Adam Peterman, Zach Miller, Caleb Olson, Trayson Knopp. Calling the Dream Team. Real quick, so I went back and looked. Where were the 1992 Olympics?
Oh, in Barcelona.
Barcelona!
Whoa.
The Dream Team revisited here. And how perfect is it?
Well, now we have to decide who's who.
Walmsley's obviously MJ. Tyler Green, I'm putting John Stockton.
You saw that,
Peterman
yes.
is Magic Johnson. Caleb is Larry Bird. And Trace Knopp is obviously Christian Leitner, who was the Duke collegiate athlete who was up and coming,
Okay.
who was sort of the next gen talent.
Dude, maybe you're spot on, you know?
Dream team.
Yeah.
You guys got to wear that proudly on Saturday.
Let's do it.
Maybe
What
it's
do you
the-
think of my epiphany, guys? Comments from the
I
panel?
got to look at the team. I want to see who I like, who I want to be. Like,
Okay, yeah. I mean, Larry Bird could be you too. Yeah.
I like it.
I was thinking Clyde.
Clyde the Glide. Yeah.
Trailblazer.
Yeah. Portland. Yeah.
I'll take Clyde.
All right.
I like it, Debo.
All right. Well, maybe, say a few words about the team. I mean, it is super exciting. We were talking about it yesterday. 3 Western States champions. You're a 2-time podium finisher, plus amazing, had an amazing career. Yeah, Trayson's up and coming, underdeveloped, but like.
Oh, and we didn't talk about Zach.
Zach
Did
Miller.
you throw Zach in there?
Well,
Yeah.
I
Did
did.
you
I
throw him in
mentioned
the
his
dream
name,
team?
but I forgot to ID
Who
him.
is he?
Maybe he's
gotta go
Larry
back.
Bird, or no, he's John Stockton. Okay, you're Clyde, he's John Stockton.
I think that's. I mean, I've coached cross country. Cross country is is probably my favorite sport in the world. High school cross country in particular. That team aspect of running is really special, and I think. I think there were a few times, like especially in those like hot days, and I'm like, man, is this fitness coming to me or not? Like, I don't know. Like drawing back or thinking back to recognizing like, hey, all of these teammates are training hard. Like I gotta be out here and doing this too. Like that was really, I don't know. It's a really powerful draw that is exciting to be running for the team. Like you get so much more out of yourself.
I mean, it's going to be hard to score for Team USA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a great race within the race.
Totally.
Anything else for Tyler, Adam?
I don't think so, man. Just like really rooting for you as a fan of yours, but also as a new dad. I want to see you lace one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tyler Green, good luck on Saturday, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Dylan.
Cheers.
Thanks.